First question going toward Mr. Ginta.
Thank you. Once again, the militant group ISIS is making headlines with the murder of an American hostage. This time it's Steve Sotloff, who went to high school here in New Hampshire. Sotloff was the other hostage seen in the video where James Foley was killed. As you all know, Foley grew up in Wolfboro. His parents still live in Rochester. Mr. Ginta, to what ends should the U.S. military be going after this group?
Well, my heart goes out to Stephen Sotloff's family as well as James Foley's family. They both have ties and connections to New Hampshire. The Foley family still resides in Rochester, and Stephen went to Kimball Union Academy here in New Hampshire. What happened today is not just a tragedy. It was a killing. This is the second beheading that ISIS has completed. The American people are angry, they're frustrated, and rightly so. The most important thing under our Constitution is not just to protect Americans, but to protect our homeland. We need to eliminate and eradicate ISIS. It needs to be done immediately. And we need to continue to work with not just Britain and other allies to ensure that we eradicate ISIS.
Should there be boots on the ground?
At this point, we have focused our attention on an air campaign. The air campaign needs to be stepped up by this president. This president needs to come to Congress for an act of war vote, and we need to work with our allies in the region and around the world to ensure that we eradicate ISIS.
Let's go to Mr. Innes with the same question. Mr. Innes, to what degree should the U.S. be going after this terrorist group?
Yeah, I think first, condolences to the families involved. It's a terrible tragedy, and we never want to see this sort of thing. But I think it's important that the U.S. takes swift action. And I'm still appalled, and I was even, reminded strongly today that the president doesn't have a strategy. How can you not have a strategy when we're dealing with this sort of hatred of America and people who are bound and determined to get us and to get the rest of the world? My strategy would be to wipe ISIS off the face of the earth quickly and firmly and make sure they never come back. We can do it with our air power and the ground forces of Syria and Iraq. And we can get this done, and we must.
Mr. Kelly, same question for you.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with this. You just can't keep putting up with this. You have to make a move that actually gets their attention, because otherwise they're going to keep on coming. My feeling would be we should be over there and just destroy all the military equipment we see there. Just, if you have a military person in it, well, that's it. Clean it all out and let them know we're serious.
All right, Mr. Kelly, thank you very much. Let's go to James Pindle with the next question related to this topic for Mr. Innes.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. We'll stick with the same topic. Given that the United States is the largest military power in the world, we hear a lot of phrases here in that first responses. We've heard about an active war vote in Congress. We heard from you about wiping them off the face of the earth. We can't put up with this anymore. Doesn't the U.S. have an obligation to stop this group from spreading? And I really want you to focus on how.
We do have an obligation. I mean, we are the sole remaining superpower in the world, and we should behave as a leader and as a superpower. I think it's really important that we step up to the role that we play globally. I think there are a couple of things that need to happen. First, the president needs to figure out what his strategy is going to be. And he needs to do that, I believe, in consultation with some of the leadership in Congress, so we can figure out what needs to happen to get after this. As I said in my first statement, I think using our superior air power, our technology, our ability to spy on our enemies, we need to use that. And then I think we've got to go to the leadership of Syria and Iraq. If we have a common enemy, it makes us friends, and that's the situation that we're in. Syria does not want ISIS to succeed, nor does Iraq. So let's work with them, get their cover on the ground, where they can be our eyes and ears and get things done, and then we get in there with the air power and really drive this home. I think that's the way to do it. And ideally, if you can get a coalition of other countries involved, we should do that. But the president has to do something, and he needs a strategy.
And Mr. Ginta, the same question to you, but your response to Dan was interesting. He asked about boots on the ground. You went back to airstrikes. If this is such an immediate threat to the United States national security, that we need to wipe them off the face of the earth, that we need a war vote, why aren't we going all resources? Why aren't we putting boots on the ground? I know we're war weary in this country, but why aren't we doing that step?
Well, it's because the president stated last week he doesn't have a clear strategy. for this problem. So that is the fundamental issue here, is our president doesn't have a plan and needs to lead and needs to present a plan to Congress. Secondly, Carol Shea Porter sits on the House Armed Services Committee. She has been silent over the last several months on this particular issue. She's on the Committee of Jurisdiction. We as Granite Staters ought to hear from her and ought to hear what she believes in why we haven't had a plan, why this president, even a year ago who had briefings, was not prepared for this. And now we have had the unfortunate death of 2 Americans. This does have to stop. We have to continue with the airstrikes. But you are going to need an act of war vote in Congress, so Congress has the legislative jurisdiction over this issue. But the reality is the president needs to lead, he needs to provide a plan, and he hasn't done that as of yet.
Mr. Kelly?
I personally, I'm always opposed to war. I think wars are terrible. But they're a part of living on this planet, and there have been wars all the time that I know of. And my feeling is you do everything you can to avoid war. But once you decide you're going to go into war, you go in wholeheartedly and you win. That's it. There is no other option. You go in and win. Like I said, wipe them off the face of the earth. That's my feeling.
All right, Mr.